it's been so much time that I need to recall how I'm doing this stuff. So first of all, Pro-Raso white, because we have pretty snowy and icy January in my place, and accordingly white Omega synthetic S49 brush. I've been a little bit lazy after the vacations, so I did just one or two lazy shaves with the razor I'm going to use today. It's not the best one, but it certainly is a little bit interesting for its purpose, and I will just show you what it is. I need to wet my face and I'll be right back. But maybe let's start first with the brush. This is Omega, and I must say a true Omega brush, meaning that the loft is pretty high and there is a lot of backbone, especially for a synthetic brush. And it is playing nicely. I could say that lathering dynamics is pretty much similar as with the bore brushes. Now I believe I had about 3 days of beard growth, and my razor of choice was not that efficient in previous times, so with a normal razor I would say that this would be maybe 4 or 5 even days of growth, but when I'm not using my standard razors, then I somehow have the feeling that the beard is just growing differently, you know, like it never felt smooth enough after the shave. But we weren't at home, so this time I really wasn't in the mood to bring all the good stuff, so I went with something cheap again. And this time take this word cheap with a slightly reserves, because I will come to that. And why cheap? Because I'm using Gillette Skinguard Sensitive. I wouldn't normally buy it because it ranges up between 5 and 8 euros at my place for 3 disposable cheap plastic dipshits. So with that price I could get something like 2 packs of Perma-Sharp, which would give me about 30 or even 40 shaves. I cannot shave 30 times with these ones. But on these, after the holiday season, I actually had pretty good shaves with this, because the blades are pretty spaced, if you can see. So with Skinguard I definitely do not have that recognizable pulling and tugging sensation. It's also rinsing much better compared to any other cartridge based razors, no matter if it's you know, exchangeable cartridges or these disposable ones. Whatever has this plastic part with rectangular shape without the standard D blade, I just call it cartridge. So to my surprise, this is actually not that bad. I think I have these ones for a year now, and I remember they were about €4.50 for 3 razors, which at that moment was affordable. So I decided just to grab them because they're not going to be any cheaper afterwards. I wanted to give them a couple of runs just to see how they're going to behave. I think the last cartridge razors which I used were Mach 3 and then Sensor 3, the cheaper option, and I wasn't very satisfied. I was having too many ingrown hairs, the shave was not that close, and if I repeat the against the grain pass, it was simply pure disaster, an overpriced disaster. So I just hoped that this, because of this large gap between the two blades, would feel something like having two consecutive with the grain passes. And just in case that sometimes you end up in a weird place without any reason, I could recommend this and only this one. Simply because I'm not getting any skin conditions with it. So, in my opinion, too many blades on too little space, they will just dig and pull your whiskers, not providing exact cutting. So this is the only good compromise between number of the blades and the spacing between them. So at this point, if I had to compare this with the E-blade, there is some, let's say, expectable stubble across the grain. With the grain, I must admit, it is very, very smooth. And just in case that you simply like to use these ones still as well, despite everything, the price, cost, and maybe some other reasons, this could be a nice option. Now I will make across the grain pass, because this would be the third shave of this razor. I had two with my denim canned shaving foam, and it was okay. You know, when you're in guests, you don't want to bring to your hosts too much of your shaving bowls and creams and brushes all over the place. And even if you don't like the traditional razors and blades, there is no reason not to go with traditional soaps and creams, because the slickness is much, much better now compared to the canned stuff, so I don't expect too much of the feedback, and I certainly hope that next time with the regular razors I won't surprise you with some ingrown hairs or pimples, so I'm going lightly. I hope you can hear there is some grabbing in here. And it's still not that smooth, you know. Maybe it would be if I apply a little bit more pressure, but I don't feel like doing that because, to be honest, I'm already anticipating some skin issues. And I don't know what was the idea behind the disposable razors, the cartridge-based razors. Maybe just the reducing possibility to nick yourself. It's obviously they removed that option to be well shaved. That's for sure. Yeah. So right now this would be like 6th or 8th blade runs over the skin area. So even if you make multiple passes with the standard razors, with the DE blade, at this point you will probably have just 2 or 3 blade passes. But with double blade, every normal shave pass counts as twice. Every small touch-up brings 2 blades on the skin, so just too many metal and skin relationships, which I don't prefer. The smoothness is there, not everywhere. I guess that tucking the blades firmly inside this cartridge is actually both eliminating the risk of cutting and exposure of the blade, so by definition and the design, the razor is simply not allowing you to go that skin close, so maybe it's a good solution for somebody who is facing some skin problems. I don't like this nose stretching, but I do this with other razors, but still it's a bit harder because of this lubrication strip to get everything underneath the nose. Still have something in here on goatee, so anyhow, if you can get this for cheap, if you can stack them somewhere to keep them for vacation, business trips, these 2 blades, sensitive, skin guard with large spacing between the blades, they could be a good option. For anything else, oh yeah, I have some sort of weepers, so that is it. Confirmed, 3 shaves with 1 plastic sheet, which makes it worthy as a single DE blade, so do the math. Okay, a little bit of rinsing off. And let's see if I'm going to have some aftershave feedback. Just because it's still kind of holiday season, we are going with a little bit nicer stuff, so I don't want to break that bottle, so yeah, not a big deal. Maybe just a little bit of tingling sensation, but in overall, nice, clean, yeah, just fake vapors, so, but they're there. Not a bad shave, with not a great razor, but please, if you see the price for these ones in your supermarket, which is 10 euros for 3 pieces, just walk away, buy something else. See you next time, bye.